Welcome to a new episode of Project Garage. On today's episode, I'm continuing on the K20 Peugeot 205. On the previous video, I finished off the engine mount, painted them and all that stuff. So the next logical step is to get the subframe to work, because that is actually the next, because it has to work, steering rack is on it. So let's do that. So I've got the engine back in and the subframe in place. What I'm going to do now is going to lift it up with putting a jack under it or something, or maybe the engine hoist, but I'll see. I'm going to lift it up and see how much it has to be lowered. Then it has to go right here to these points. I don't know if you can see it. And some over there. 6 points in total, so let's see what's up with this thing. Alright, check it out, it's in. I did a combination of the engine hoist and the floor jack. Works great. But I must say it's quite good news, because as you can see here and here, the space is actually not that big. It's probably only going to need, see over on this side, well, maybe from this side better. Yeah, see it right there. The space is not that big, maybe it's about 3 centimeters max. That's not a lot, man. All I have to do now is make sure how much I'm going to do, because I could do maybe 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters. I was going to plan to use this. This is actually too big, which is nice actually. The less the better, it's stronger. So now I'm going to work out how much I'm going to do. I'm probably taking a guess on 3 centimeters. So let's make some spacers. And oh yeah, and I almost forgot. It's so much, or not even that much. I don't even have to lengthen the steering shaft. How awesome is that? Well, I believe I don't have to, because it fits right on here. Maybe a tiny bit, but I believe it will work. Or else I have to make it work. No problem. The only issue that I'm probably going to have are these bolts. These are the original subframe bolts, and if I'm going to put spacers on it, these won't be long enough, so I will have to source new ones. So, first step. These are 2 of the 6 bolts that hold the subframe in, and these are in good condition, nothing wrong with them, but because I have to lower it, of course, they're too short. So what I've got is some new bolts. They're probably a bit too long, but I can grind them off. This is one of them, and a whole bunch of washers. I'm going to be using those to test fit the spacers for under the subframe, because I'm like, yeah, I can be making spacers immediately, and turns out if they don't fit, I have to make new ones. So I'm just going to space the subframe out with a whole bunch of washers and check out if it works. Even if it works, and if it works, just measure it, and then I'll make my spacers accordingly. So if you can see, one package is actually just under 2.5 centimeters, which I don't know if it's enough, but I do realize I only have 4 packs and I have 6 bolts. But you know, if 4 bolts fit from the 6, you know, it'll probably be fine. So let's try this out. Okay, check it out. I've got the spacers in place, or also washers. As you can see, the engine can freely move. Without it hitting the subframe. Here you can see, oh yeah, they look nice and shiny. Spacers on each side. Of course, I'm going to make new spacers for that, but this is actually the correct offset. And if you see this one, there's actually has to be another one next to it, but I don't have enough washers, like I said. but this is going to work. This is going to be good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make some spacers. So to start off with the subframe spacers, I've got this bar of steel. I bought it at the hardware store. And now I'm going to cut it in bits. It's actually, I've got it 25 millimeters, which is exactly right. And I also got this bar of steel, which is hollow, which is going to be fit inside here. So when I tighten the bolt, it's not going to crush it. And yeah, now I'm going to take the subframe out and to see and to measure how much I'm going to have to cut this. So I've got the subframe out. All I've got to do now is make a mark where I have to cut this. I'm going to do it like that, you know, from here to here. It's about, I don't know, 6 centimeters. Also do it on this side. And on this side it's going to be a little bit different because it looks like it's a very small bit, but actually if you look over here you can have a whole bit. This is pretty flat. I'm going to do it like this. I think that's stronger as well. Both sides. I think this is long enough for all of that. So that's pretty cool. What I have here is an easy way to mark up the holes of the subframe spacers. I've got these out of the body. These are the screw bits where the bolts go into from the subframe. There are 2 of these, left and on the right. And all you have to do now, what I did, was actually take a bolt and make them sharp on both ends. All you have to do is put it down where you want it. And then slam it with the hammer once or twice, and then you'll have them perfectly marked. Top tip. So check this out. I've got some of this tube, as you see. This is how it's going to sit. Just like that, so it won't be crushed. Simple, easy and effective. That's how I want it. So check it out. These are the front subframe spacers, also these 2 of 4. They will be finished, well, they are close to being finished. I have to test fit them and then I'm going to paint them blue like the other ones. They have to fit like this perfectly, and the other one also right over here. Brilliant. So what I'm going to do now is going to make the other 2 out of this leftover. Hopefully it's enough, but probably going to be just fine.
this is front one. This is how it's going to look. This is the way it's supposed to be done to make sure it sits flush, because there are some things on it, but that's why I have to make 2 grooves in it. It's perfect. All I have to do now is, just like in this one, put a tube in it so it won't compress under when I torque it down. So yeah, and after that, test fit it. If it's all good, paint it, and that'll be that. Well, check it out. This is the end result. There's a tube inside, so to make sure it doesn't crush. The other one too. It's not welded in because well, it's a bit annoying to weld right in there, but it's clamped inside, so it's not going to fall out. And I think it's time to test fit it all.
So check it out. Subframe spacers are installed. They fit perfectly. Absolutely no problems at all. I don't know if you can see them. Here are the other ones over there. All I have to do now is check out if the steering, all that stuff will fit in. Maybe I have to do some modification on that, but I'm not sure. So let's see. And if that's checked, remove it all and paint them blue. There's a flat spot there. It exactly has to go up here, that's why it won't fit high. Much better. I didn't tighten it, so there's some instability, which seems like enough, and I'm going to check under the hood if it fits. So this is the steering column and the steering rack. Check this out. I can just put it on like that, and that's how it's supposed to go. Done. All I have to do is find the bolt that goes in there. I have it at home, I think. And there is no modification needed to get the steering in there. Man, this is great news. Saves me a lot of hassle. And original GTI steering wheel. Very good. So, that is that. All I have to do now is paint. All I have to do now is paint the subframe spaces blue, and then this episode will be finished.
Well, there you go. The paint is drying. So, and that is the end of this episode. So, hope you guys like it. Hopefully, see you guys next time. Oh, and by the way, if you want to follow more of this build, you can also check out Garage Mino, BioWare 67. So, have a good time. Hopefully, see you guys next time.
So, thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. And talking about more, you can click on one of these two videos to see some more from the channel. And yeah, hope to see you next time. Later.